Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here. Welcome back to part 27 of the Elden Ring full playthrough walkthrough. In this section of the walkthrough, we are finally going to begin in earnest the questline of Witch Ranni. Ranni the goddess, Ranni the witch. Oh boy, this is going to be a long section of this walkthrough. There's a lot to do, a lot of NPCs to interact with, but the prizes for completing, the rewards for completing this questline are incredible. A few extra bosses, cool new areas, lots to see, lots to do. We're going to be doing this for a little while. So, in order to get this started, there's a couple ways to go about it. First off, the way most folks will do it, and this is the way we've done it in this walkthrough so far, is you need to access Three Sisters, which is the area past Courtyard Manor. So you go through Liurnia of the Lakes over here, you progress up, you go through Courtyard Manor, you defeat the boss in the Royal Moongazing Grounds, and then you gain access to Three Sisters. Inside of this tower, to the west, is Ranni the Witch. Speaking with her a couple times will result in her asking you if you wish to become one of her vassals. You can help her on her mission. She's a little cryptic as to what that mission is, but once you accept, she will tell you to find the prize within Nokron. So, you then spend a little bit of time trying to find Nokron. We've done these steps in order so far throughout this walkthrough, and we've sort of put it on pause as we explored the rest of the game. So, we will begin on that. One of the other major things that I want to mention is the quest line of this woman over here, Fia, the Deathbed Companion. So Fia can be found in this room here. I have not spoken with her throughout the game, very deliberately. First reason, it takes forever to speak with her. It's a really long animation of her hugging you, which, is very nice, and I wish I had a mom to hug me, as dark as that sounds. It really does make me a little emotional when she hugs you. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm very public about this sort of stuff, but it is heart-wrenching to see. A little sad, but that's okay. We're going to go through it. So, Fia's questline does interact a bit with Ranni's questline, and in a way, you are better off kind of starting both at the same time. However, there's a series of hidden interactions that we have, unfortunately, and it's okay, I kind of planned on doing it this way, but we have unfortunately kind of skipped over. The way questlines work in Elden Ring is pretty interesting. Basically, unlike the Dark Souls series, the quests kind of follow you throughout the game. What this means is that you do not necessarily need to start really any quest within the game at any specific point. As you progress through the game and as you reach new areas, NPCs move, events happen, things change. You basically have up until you trigger the end game, which is a very obvious event. You have up until then to basically start any quest. And when you choose to start them, you'll kind of start in different stages as somebody else who maybe started all the way at the beginning. So I've done my best to kind of show you each and every step as we've played the game, but unfortunately, some steps do become unavailable as you do things and as you speak with one NPC versus another. So I'll explain what that is for Fia's questline right now. So if we were to speak with Fia towards the beginning of the game, and then if we were to checking on the Rogier stuff, Fia and Rogier are pretty linked. Okay, so I'm just quickly reading again. Okay, so if we were to speak with Fia pretty early on in the game, she would give us a map that tells us where excuse me, it tells us the location of an item, a key item, called the Black Knife Print. We've already gotten this item. It is this right here. We get this after defeating a Black Knife Assassin in the Black Knife Catacombs, which are in Limgrave. So we already did this way earlier on. Maybe it's the Death Touched Catacombs, I think. No, it is Black Knife Catacombs. Where are the Black Knife Catacombs? They're in Liurnia, northeast part. Northeast Liurnia. Black Knife Catacombs, all the way up here. So basically, Fia gives us a map telling us where a Black Knife print can be found. Fia is doing her best to uncover the plot of the Night of Black Knives. The reason for that is because she is closely associated with Godwyn. We will learn more about that later, but that's kind of the link. So Godwyn is the one who is murdered on the Night of Black Knives. Fia is connected to Godwyn. She's trying to suss out what happened. Now, as you progress through Stormveil Castle, early on in the game, you will meet another NPC named Sorcerer Rogier. After you defeat Godric the Grafted, Rogier will come here. Now, I do believe that you need to find Rogier's bloodstain within Stormveil Castle. It's kind of impossible to show you on this map, but basically, in Stormveil Castle, if you go to the Gateside Chamber... No, not Gateside Chamber. It's back here. Liftside Chamber. If you go to Liftside Chamber, you can exit out the back. You kind of got to take the long way to open the shortcut door, but there's a shortcut door there. And then you can progress to like the bedrock of the castle, like the foundation of the castle. And then you fight an ulcerated tree spirit. You defeat that, and then you see like this alien-looking face. And even if you're playing offline, there will be a bloodstain on the ground for you to inspect. If you inspect that, you can see that it's Sorcerer Rogier somehow dying to something causing instant death. It's a little unclear what that is, but we can kind of guess that it's coming from the head somehow. But I have not found any sort of way to make it happen to myself, so I don't know. But once you witness that, he will tell you, he will begin to help you on Fia's quest. So, I just noticed this awesome painting of Godfrey. Jesus, that's cool. Anyway, so he will begin to help you on Fia's quest. And then Rogier will, once you get the knife print from the Black Knife Catacombs, if you bring it to him, he will inspect it. And then he will tell you that it is sort of imbued likely by a witch named Ranni. So you can sort of tell that by, like, decoding the magic because he's a sorcerer. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Defeated Godric. Okay, he gives us Rogier's Rapier +8. Okay, we can speak with him. Okay, so we're a little too late. That's fine. If he tells you that he's on the precipice of falling into a deep slumber, you can't get those little extra interactions. But if you manage to do that, if you manage to get the knife print before meeting Lady Ranni and Three Sisters, if you get the knife print, bring it back to Rogier, he tells you Lady Ranni is the one who imbued the daggers, right? Imbued the daggers of the Black Knife Assassins. So he then tells you to seek her out in a place called Three Sisters. You find her, and then if you speak with her, she's kind of offended that you've like stumbled upon her in a way. But if you then come back to Rogier, tell him, he says, maybe try becoming one of her vassals and see if she'll help you out and give you more information. Once you do that, you go back to Ranni, and then she's still a little annoyed at you, but she's actually kind of proud of you for sussing out that she was the one who orchestrated the Night of Black Knives. So that piece of information comes pretty quick, which is surprising, but you can miss it. And unfortunately, we did here, but it's quite all right. Then the quest is as it is now. So we just kind of missed this little interaction, but it's quite all right. Completely optional, like I said before, in Elden Ring, quests pick up with you until you trigger the endgame. Okay. So we can speak with him about D, and then he talks about the mark of a centipede. Basically, it's about those who live in death. So once he begins to fall into a deep slumber, I think if we rest, he may die. No, okay, but now he is like full-blown asleep. So it seems that he is finally beginning to pass away. However, if we speak with D, we can then learn a little bit about Rogier. Okay. All right. So he says, beware of those who live in death. He's clearly being affected by death. which is a little unfortunate. So once you have those interactions done, you're good with them. Now, I will warn you, progressing Fia's questline after you have killed 2 shard bearers and basically gotten 2 great runes will cause, and we're going to see this in a moment, so it's not exactly a spoiler, it will cause D, Hunter of the Dead, to die. This is supposed to happen. There is no way to prevent it from happening other than just like not doing this quest, but then he ends up dying anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's part of the story. D is supposed to die. So let's speak with Fia. She's going to introduce herself because we've literally never spoken to her in this playthrough. Now, she is going to ask us to let her hold us, which is very sweet. And again, I really love to see this. Makes me miss my mom. When she does this, she will give us something called a Baldekin's Blessing. This Baldekin's Blessing is both a boon and a burden. It reduces our HP by 5% for as long as it's in our inventory. However, if we were to use the item, it decreases the damage we take by 35% for 15 seconds. And it also increases our poise. So it is a decent item, but you basically want to get rid of it as soon as you're able to. In order to speak with her at any point, you do need to let her hold you because she whispers in your ear. Clearly, somebody whispering in your ear is probably up to something. Probably, right? I mean, that's just how life works. So, if we speak in secret, she tells us what a deathbed companion is, what she is, and, you know, this and that. So, she's going to ask us a favor. She wants us to find the owner of this weathered dagger. Okay. So, if we ask her about the dagger, yeah, we can move on. Okay, so let's get the Baldekin's Blessing out of our inventory because I don't want the debuff. And it took a long time. Friends were like yelling at me that it was causing me problems. All right, go ahead and use it just to get rid of it. So as you can see, we got a bit of a buff. All right, so the owner of the dagger, let's go ahead and read the description. Dagger received from Fia, the deathbed companion. She wishes for it to be returned to its rightful owner. It was once a special weapon of gold and silver intertwined, but is now worn down by marred by a black gash. So the person wearing gold and silver intertwined is D, Hunter of the Dead. If we give him the weathered dagger, he says, how'd we get our hands on that? That hardly matters. I know who it's from. Why don't I return it for you? Good work bringing this to me. So, what happens now is that dagger actually belongs to his twin. We find his twin later on. It's unclear why Fia has the dagger, but we will learn about it later on. So if we rest at the table, D disappears, and now a new room has opened. You will notice that Fia is gone. She's not totally gone, however, because now this door is open. And this is basically the final room that opens within the hold. And we see that D has died, clearly affected by instant death. We can then pick up D's bell bearing, as well as the twinned armor. If we speak with Fia, she asks us to deliver a message to Round Table Hold. Do not disturb not the death of Godwin the Exalted. We who humbly live in death, live in waiting to one day welcome our Lord. What right does anyone have to object? Our Lord will rise, the Lord of many and the meek. And then she does this cool vanish, okay? Whew. All right, so that is Fia. She has moved on to go somewhere else. D is sadly dead, which stinks. And now I do believe Rogier dies. We may have to progress a little further for Rogier to die. Okay, yeah, so Rogier is not dead yet. Quite all right, he will die eventually. Okay, so now that that's done. Okay, now Rogier is dead. You get Rogier's bell bearing, Spellblade's pointed hat, the whole set, and a very important item is here, Rogier's letter. So if we check that out, it says letter written in a trembling hand. I forgot to tell you, but it seems D has a younger brother. I heard he lies in a deep sleep in the aqueduct beside the eternal city of Nokron. And it said he stood before the Prince of Death not far beyond that spot. So, as we progress through Nokron, we will find D's brother. So, I do just want to quickly check out the garments here. Twinned armor. Hang on. I think we should not alter it. Twinned armor. Twin set. Okay, don't alter it. You can if you want and wear it, but we're not going to. Okay, cool. So, now basically the quest line for Fia has been started. D is dead. We have the twinned armor. We can give the bell bearings to the twin maiden husks and then open up those 2 shops if we like, just in case we forgot to purchase something from them that we might be interested in. Bell bearing shop 1. D has Litany of Proper Death and orders Blaidd. Okay, very good. So now that that part is started, we can basically, if you'd like, you can proceed right into Nokron. You don't even have to do any of that to proceed into Nokron, but progressing Fia's quest line and getting her to leave Round Table Hold opens up a boss past Nokron in the next place. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to visit War Counselor E.G. If we visit War Counselor E.G. now, he should have dialogue about this person on the loading screen, Blaidd. Okay, so let us speak with him.
Defeated General Rat. The General was blighted by there is no parents to you. Descend underground, make it your.
He asks about Jaren.
Though we served different. Now the time has come to the stars of fate set finally. We can be rid of a long-standing. Or Blaidd wanted me to tell you not to bother waiting for him and head straight to Nokron. Blaidd has been given an important task. Apparently a matter of great urgency.
All right, that's a lie.
You need not await, Blaidd. Descend underground alone and make it yours so that Lady Ranni.
Okay. E.G. is lying. Blaidd has not been sent on a mission. He has been imprisoned. And I'll tell you why once we get to it. So, he is where we kind of first met him. So we very first met him in the Mistwood Ruins, and then he moved to the Forlorn Hound Everjail in search of Darrowil. So if we go to Aghill Lake South, we can then go back to that Everjail, and we will find Blaidd there. All right. So we can now speak to the Everjail.
Oh, it's you. It's me, Blaidd. Old E.G. trapped me here. Told me I'd bring naught but bail to Lady Ranni. But there's no chance that could happen. I'm part of her being. A very shadow. I thought old E.G. knew as much. Honestly, I don't know what's going on anymore. My thanks, friend. I'm going to see Mistress Ranni now. I don't know what came over old E.G., but even if the odds are slim, I need to check the Mistress is safe. Now, Ranni can finally set in motion the fight against her fate she's dreamed of for so long. I'm going to see Mistress Ranni now. I don't know what came over old E.G., but even if the odds are slim, I need to check the Mistress is safe.
Okay. So, remember that... Okay, so Blaidd just told us that there's no way that he could harm Ranni. He's part of her very being. He is her shadow. Ranni is an Empyrean. And I'm going to read something from the fandom page really quick. Empyreans are unique beings found inhabiting the lands between. They are treated with reverence by the many inhabitants of the world, and their primary purpose seems to be serving as a container for the power of outer gods. The criteria used for identifying or selecting Empyreans are not yet completely understood. Nonetheless, being born from a single god like the twins Melania and Mikola is known to be one way. In their unique case, they're both born from the Union of Radigan America. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Ranni is also considered an Empyrean, despite being referred to as the daughter of Radigan and Rennala. This would disprove the idea that the only way to be an Empyrean is by being born from a single god. The reason for Ranni being counted an Empyrean has not yet been discovered. However, it may have something to do with the great rune of the unborn that is in possession of Rennala, gifted to her as a parting gift by Radigan. Ranni herself states that she was chosen by her two fingers as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, becoming the new god for the coming age, and that of the demigods. Only her, Melania, and Mikola could claim the title of Empyrean. So, I'm going to keep reading because there's only a little bit left. Empyreans can obtain great power through the assistance of an outer god and a chosen consort. Empyreans are also said to be given shadows in the form of wolves, loyal to defend their masters given to them by the two fingers on behalf of the greater will. Only two shadows are currently known, Malekith and Blaidd, and it's unclear if Melania and Mikola have shadows of their own. Though loyal to their assigned Empyreans, shadows carry a dark secret deep-rooted inside their very beings. If their masters, this is the important part, if a shadow's master ever betrays the Golden Order, their shadow will enter a rageful frenzy and hunt down their Empyrean till they are laid to rest, as in the case of Ranni's shadow, Blaidd. Blaidd does not know this about himself. He does not know that if Ranni were to betray the two fingers, he would be forced to kill her. That's the secret of why Blaidd is inside this Everjail. E.G. knows this, and Ranni knows this. That is why E.G. Imprisoned Blaidd inside this Everjail, because he knew now that Nokron was accessible, as soon as the prize of Nokron was given to Ranni, her betrayal would begin. And then Blaidd would have to kill her. That's why he's here. Okay, so now he says he's going to go find Mistress Ranni. I'm going to go back to Ranni's Rise and see what happens. I don't think he shows up. But yeah, so this questline, pardon language, is fucking incredible. I love it so much. It's the best questline From has ever created. Okay, no, he doesn't show up. I'll go upstairs just to be sure, but I don't think he does. Yeah, I think he's not imprisoned. He's just sort of like stuck in a limbo of like his quest isn't ready to progress. Like systematically, she's not ready to progress yet. Let me go upstairs and make sure. And then after this, we'll speak with E.G. one more time. I'm not sure if he has new dialogue. Okay. Whew. We haven't done anything yet. Like, we literally have not done a thing. Okay, here we go.
I presume you've spoken with Blaidd? Very well. There is something you should know. The two fingers gave Blaidd to Lady Ranni as a faithful follower. Her very shadow, incapable of treachery. But if Lady Ranni, as an Empyrean, resists being an instrument of the two fingers, the shadow will go mad, transforming from a follower into a horrid curse. But such is his destiny. In such matters, Blaidd's own thoughts hold no weight. It pains me so. But he must be neutralized. For Lady Ranni's sake.
There you go. So, E.G. is more than happy to talk about it. Now, one thing I want to point out about E.G. is his helmet, okay? We actually have this helmet as well. Right here. The Nox Mirror Helm. Helm fashioned from a crystal-looking glass, one among the Eternal City's ritual implements, easily broken and weak against striking attacks. Worn by those committed to high treason, it wards off the intervention of the Greater Will and its vassal fingers. The only people who wear this helmet are committed to committing treason, meaning they are committed. They are going to be treasonous to the order. Very interesting. So it's all in plain sight here. This whole treachery is in plain sight to you, the player. You just got to read the descriptions to understand it. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do has to do with Seluvis, okay? We've already kind of progressed this a little bit, but right here, where I have this mark on the map, this is a ruin within Three Sisters. Exactly where I have this mark, you want to roll on the floor, and it will reveal a staircase going down into a ruin. This is Seluvis' puppet shop, okay? Once you discover that, there is an illusory wall in the back of that shop, to the left of his sign. You want to roll into that, and you'll see a sorceress puppet. Once you see that, go back to Seluvis, speak with him. Sorry, he's over here. Go back with Preceptor Seluvis, speak with him, and then you can ask him about it. He will then ask you to do him a favor. I just realized we hadn't done this part. We've seen the puppet shop. We've done it a couple times. We've been down there a couple times, but what we're going to do is we're going to speak with Seluvis, and he's going to have... Oops. Nope, that's a lamp. Don't want that. And he is going to have a new dialogue option for us about a scheme. This is treachery inside of treachery. Treacheryception. Okay. I've been looking forward to making this part of this walkthrough forever. Since we started it, I've been looking forward to it. I love this part of the game. Okay. So we can speak with Seluvis, and then he has a new dialogue option talking about the scheme. So it's about the finest of puppets, a ploy to fool even Ranni. Tell him you're interested. He wants us to procure something. It is a specific starlight shard called Amber Starlight. It says procure it for him, and then we can make a demigod a slave. Okay, so there is an NPC kind of hidden within Caria Manor. If you remember in your adventure through Caria Manor, and we did cover this in the walkthrough, but if you remember, there was a sanctuary area within Caria Manor. Very peculiar that there's a sanctuary. But if we were to fall down these rafters, we will meet another NPC named Pydia. Pydia sells some items. One item is a crumbling map. So this is Pydia right here. And then we can purchase this, the weathered map. Okay, so if we look at the weathered map... Oops, key items. If we were to look at the weathered map... Is it actually in this one? Yes. This is the weathered map. Depicts streaks of amber light. So this is the Amber Starlight. This map is really difficult to read, but Seluvis tells us this is probably in Altus Plateau. So if we kind of look for this cutout of a map on Altus Plateau, we'll know where it is. I have marked it on the map already previously. So this is the rectangle that's on the weathered map, and then this is where the streaks of amber light are. It's right here. So let us go to the Altus Highway Junction, and let's go get the item. Now, heads up. Getting this item and handing it over to Seluvis and actually going through with the whole thing will cause Ranni to become hostile towards you. However, there's a couple of ways to go about this to make it so it doesn't end the questline. The first way is to do the whole thing, let Ranni become hostile towards you, and then pray for forgiveness. Once you do that, Ranni gets restored, as does EG, and you're fine. The other way to do it is as soon as you get the talisman, just stop. You don't have to do anything else. There's no unique rewards after that. It's just some dialogue. And it's not even like lore dialogue. It's just like Ranni's angry at you. That's it. Okay. So, and Seluvis's part of the questline ends either way. Doing this or not doing it and just progressing Ranni's story as usual will end Seluvis's questline. This is just an extra little thing for a talisman. So right here, we're going to go into here. I recommend equipping a lamp in case it's nighttime. I actually found this on stream a few weeks ago, and I had no idea about it. I had to look up what any of this was. All right, so we have several land octopi. Kill them if you like. Lots of sacramental bud here. And then clearly there's a key item waiting for us. I just want all the sacramental bud. It's so rare. Okay, very good. So, this key item is the Amber Starlight. And we see here, it's underneath a statue of a woman hugging what seems to be a child. Interesting. Maybe something to do with the Empyrean. Who knows? Does have Melania leaves on it, though. Key item, Amber Starlight. I don't know why I always go backwards through that. An ephemeral sliver that gives off a pale amber glow, what remains of a passing flash of starlight. If the stars command our fates, then amber-hued stars must command the fates of the gods. Such is the belief that inspired the use of these shards to prepare a most special draft. Remember, the stars commanded the fates. The stars commanded Ranni's fate specifically. When Radahn arrested the stars, Ranni's fate stood still. So, we killed Radahn, the stars began moving again, thus Ranni's fate continued in motion. However, the Amber Starlight is saying that amber-hued stars command the fates of the gods, the outer gods, the ones that more or less kind of created Ranni in a way and gave her her shadow and influenced the two fingers that gave Ranni a purpose. So Ranni is attempting to betray the god's destiny for her, but this is going to set it back in motion. So we can bring this to Seluvis. Just go this way. We can bring this to Seluvis. He will create a draft, and then he will also give us a talisman in return. We've done nothing. This video is already 32 minutes, and we haven't done anything. No combat. You know, we killed some land octopi. That's it. I can also show you Seluvis' puppet shop. There we go. So the puppet shop is over here. It's guarded by one lone disappearing mage. Right here. This is the puppet shop entrance. Just roll on that floor and you'll reveal it. Okay, so we're going to bring him the Amber Starlight. Okay, I'm going to turn up the volume.
Well, well. You managed to lay your hands on it. The blessed day is finally upon us. Goodness gracious, the way it glistens. Utterly enchanting. To think this was once a demigod's very fate. My, oh my, oh my. Ah. Are you still here? Ah, yes, I should give you your reward. Yeah, please. It's all yours. It's splendid work. It's just marvelous. Now just you wait. The merriment is soon to begin. The scheme I promised is to be revealed very shortly.
All right. So that's kind of it. We can do one more thing, but let's just read the description of that scorpion charm real quick. Talisman carried by assassins who strike unseen. Assassins. Patterned on a scorpion freshly shed of its exoskeleton, its claws seizing a heart that shimmers with magic. Raises magic attack power but lowers damage negation. Assassins. All right, so all we got to do is just reload the area. You can rest at a bonfire, do whatever you want. It's just quicker to reload the game. Now Seluvis is going to give us that potion. And then we have a couple choices. Me personally, I'm just going to choose to stop. I don't feel like praying for forgiveness and doing all that. So we're just going to get the draft and stop, be able to read the item description and whatnot. Okay, give it to Ranni and sure she drinks it. Okay, so he says that it's going to create the perfect puppet. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't. There's nothing else to get from this questline except Ranni's ire. But we can read the description. Where is it? There it is. Small flask received from Preceptor Seluvis containing a gleaming amber draft for use in a scheme. Give it to Ranni and ensure she drinks it, and we'll be in a position to claim the very finest puppet ever crafted. So if you remember, puppets are basically summons, but they were human at one point. So basically Seluvis is trying to turn Ranni into a puppet summon, but it doesn't happen. She's keen to the game. All right. So now that we've done that, we've spoken with EG, we've freed Blaidd, Ranni's good to go. We spoke with Fia, Rogier's dead, D. Hunter the Dead is dead. We can proceed to Nokron. Okay, so the best way to go to Nokron, and again, you have to have defeated General Radahn in order to do this. If you have not yet defeated Radahn, go to Caelid, go to Redmane Castle, kill him. Okay? Once you reach Altus Plateau, he becomes available. Easiest way to do this is to go to Fort Height West. Now, if you look in the sky, clearly something is different, right? Like, clearly something has happened. A star bit the earth. That is what Blaidd said. EG said a star crashed into the earth. This is where it happened. The way you know that it's here is because after you defeat Radahn, a cutscene plays, and a star crashes down in this general direction from Caelid. So you just look in the direction that your character looks in the cutscene, go in that direction, and you will end up right here. Okay, so we're just going to fall down over here, and then we can enter this cave. Alrighty. What are we at? We're at 38 minutes. Debating how far I want to go into this place. I think what I might do, just because this is already so long, is I might stop once we reach the first site of grace. Because defeating the first boss, like, is super quick, and then, like, there's a lot to do after that. Anyway, welcome to Nokron Eternal City. We've finally made it. Now, if you bring up your map, you will notice we're pretty close to Schiefer River. Just you wait. All right, so got a lot going on here. We can jump over to this rooftop. You can do it a couple ways. You can either do like a run and a swing and a jump, or you can just jump from here. Okay, be careful when jumping on these platforms. You can kind of rock off if you're not careful. Then you do need to do a jump over here. And then you can get this torch, which is a ghost flame torch. And then description on this reads, metal torch that burns with cold ghost flame, tool of the fallen hawks who prowl the underground rivers. When the band's last embers were used up in their long search, they began to burn the bones of their fellows, acquiring the cold ghost flame, but sealing their fate as dwellers of the underground for all eternity. It's very likely that the mudmen that you find in these underground areas are the people that they're speaking of. Okay. So we can drop here. This is a mimic tier. Mimic tiers can do a couple different things. These ones just turn into spears. However, some of them can throw spears. I should say some of them turn into lances, then others throw spears. Throughout this place, you will find silver tear husks littered about the joint. And then these read as follows. A hardened husk shed by a formless life known as the silver tear, found in and around the eternal city. The silver tear makes mockery of life, reborn again and again into imitation. Perhaps one day it will be reborn a lord. Not likely. Okay. Cool. All right, let's continue. Okay, I want to point something out to you. This right here, this is the Schiefer River well elevator. I'm not kidding. It is the elevator. I pointed this out when we came down here the first time, but you can see out these windows and see into Nokron. You can actually see the item orbs. It is legit. It is the same exact one. It is not just like a preloaded sort of graphic. It is the literal elevator. Okay. All right, so this is the area where we actually start fighting enemies. We'll end this on a boss. It's going quicker than I thought. So the tricky thing is that, oh, these are the guys with the torches. Okay, it's not the mudmen, it's these guys. It's the pale folks. Careful, you don't want to follow these guys down. I don't recommend targeting them. Oh, it's an arrow. I was like, is that a Trina's lily or something? It's arrows. Okay. All right. Now we can light the first site of grace. And this is Nokron, Eternal City, Site of Grace. Nokron, Eternal City. Okay. So some of these guys have real big shields. The way to deal with these folks is to jump over them. I know that sounds like kind of ridiculous, but that's how you do it. You just jump over them. Ow. Don't target him. Don't try to strafe him. Just jump over him. Get Ghost Glovewort Pickers Bell Bearing 1. This allows you level 1 and 2 Ghost Glovewort. 1, 2, and 3. The hell? Oh, he's in the bush. Okay. Cool. So yeah, this is the elevator shaft. Brings you through the river, and somehow it passes through like a magical lake. I don't really get that, but that's the way it is. Gonna drop a rainbow stone. Actually, a glowstone would work better for this. Glowstones don't break when they hit the death barrier. Unfortunately, there's no way out of Nokron that isn't a warp. Well, that's not entirely true. There is a way. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't know if we can go see that glowstone. But I'm thinking there is a way. There 100% is a way. But I don't know. We could try it. We can try. It'll be tough, but we can try. I'm willing to give it a go. We're going to run past a bunch of stuff, but I'm willing to give it a go. Okay, let's go inside this building. Come on. Get a larval tier. You're going to find several of those throughout Nokron. Actually, the vast majority of the ones in the game are in Nokron. So you'll notice these guys are using the same shield that I am, and we found it within Schiefer River. Inverted Hawk is the emblem of the company of slaves ordered to explore the Eternal City. You're using the shield of slaves. Damn. Strong. There you go. You get their ashes. You can read the description on them. Great Shield ashes. Spirits of Great Shield soldiers who belong to the Fallen Hawks, a band of soldiers that once explored the Eternal City, stout defenders with a steady guard. Though their methods are somewhat crude, they work well as a squadron and will attract the attention of enemies or lob ghost flame from the rear guard. They basically form a phalanx. But yeah, they were slaves. They are slaves. Okay. I don't really care about Duke-Kissed Urba. Alright. So, this is the sort of central area. We're going to go this way. Right, we are going to find a full-blown Mimic tier here. Maybe not. Yeah, we are. Okay. Maybe we can get the jump on it. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that actually prevented it from turning into sort of like an NPC kind of thing. But you also have a Nox Priestess. Remember, we fought one of those out in Celia Town of Sorcery in Caelid. So that's not the first time we've seen that. And we will find out eventually where the Nox come from. All right, clearly there's a big boss fog there. We'll get there eventually. The glove ward is important. Okay, so in the distance we have one of those giant thrones, very similar to the throne that we found over here, where we fought the chair crypt of Celia, where we fought the Nox priestess and swordess. Very similar. There's that throne. Clearly this is an area, right? Like, there's a building, there's doors. We're going to get there. Trust me. Okay, so for now, we can go down here. And this is a boss fight for the Mimic tier. Now, I'm going to show you a really cheesy strategy for the Mimic tier because I think it's hilarious. It's a Mimic. You're going to fight yourself. It will spawn with whatever armor, with whatever gear you have equipped. That said, it can only flask one time. It cannot flask 15 times. So, what you can do is you can unequip everything and then enter the room. Then you just wait for the Mimic tier to kind of begin appearing. All right. And once that happens, you can re-equip your gear. And then you are about to fight it while it is unarmed, unable to do anything. All it can do is attack with its fists. It does have your armor, so if you have the Briar armor, it has the Briar armor. But it literally has no recourse to this strategy. It cannot create weapons. It can only use what you have equipped when the tier is created. It cannot create any more. Ugh. That sucked. Just when you're done with this fight, don't forget to re-equip your gear. It's very easy to forget that. Like I said, it can only flask once. It will keep trying, though. It's just like a summon. Like an NPC invader summon. There you go. That's the Mimic tier. Now, it drops 2 larval tiers and the silver tier mask. Okay? Don't forget to re-equip your gear. Okay. Very good. All right, then there's a Site of Grace right here. I need to look something up. Yeah, okay, it's later. All right, so this is the Mimic tier Site of Grace. All right. Now, the walkthrough is basically done. However, oh, I shouldn't have rested there. Jesus Christ. We messed up. Well, we didn't mess up, but forgot to do the thing we wanted to do. All right, let's go to the Nokron Eternal City Site of Grace. And then we're going to see if we can look at the glowstone that we drop. I don't know. I don't know if this is really going to work, but we'll try it out. If it does, great. If not, oh well. Only thing we lost was time. All right. Let's see. Right about there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to run to where that is. You can get to the surface of Shifa River from this angle. It's a trek, though, so let's see how it goes. Oh, that's just a lance. I thought it turned into somebody. I guess those are the ones in the next area. All right. Luckily, once you get past the Mimic Tier boss area, you can actually you can summon Torrent. So this will go a lot faster. Relatively. Is there an item over here? I mean, you can't believe hints. You just can't believe them. They got me. They got me good. Just looking at something. All right, basically, once you hit this bridge, you can summon Torrent. Now, you want to be careful because something dies around here, and I think you get like a smithing shard for it. Or it's a chance on death. I don't know. I've had it happen where I've gotten like a somber shard for some weird reason. Okay. There it is. I don't know what causes that. Okay, so we're gonna skip a lot. I am literally just looking for something, so I'm not picking up any items. I'm just trying to see if something is possible. So we are just going to go this way. Ignore all of this. Pretend you didn't see it. I'll explain it all in the next walkthrough. Okay, we're going to jump down here. Come down here. You're going to laugh at where this lets out, I'm telling you right now. Okay. There it is. Okay. This is where we fought the Dragonkin warrior. Way back when. I think it was like part 7 or 8 of the walkthrough. We fought a Dragonkin warrior here. So we are literally back in Schiefer River. Same place as always. Same as it ever was. Okay, and then we can drop here. This is near the Phantom Tree. Okay. And hopefully we don't get sniped. All this to see if a glowstone is visible. The things we do. Alright. Don't use the teleporters. I do believe that resets enemies. God, I love Schiefer River so much. I can't begin to explain how much I love it. I definitely gushed about it when we got here the first time, but... it's just so good. Whoa, hey. Yeah, we are almost at our destination. Almost. Almost there. Okay, we'll take this down. Strange to me that you can summon here. Whenever I see the summon sign, it makes me feel like there's a boss that I haven't fought. Okay. The glowstone should be visible, like, here. It's strange that we go through, like, an invisible lake. I don't really get that. Because that lake is, like, not visible at all anywhere. So that doesn't make much sense to me. Oh, well. The answer is no. It's fine. And we can't even get to where that was anyway. Maybe I should have dropped it somewhere else, but I'm not going to try again. Yeah, it's like, if it is anywhere, it's like inside. Yeah, this just isn't doable. Oh, well. It's not a big deal. I was just curious. In any event, let us go back to Roundtable Hold. We will level up, and then we'll talk about next steps. Can't even level up. Nowhere close. All good. Okay, so next steps for this walkthrough. We are going to continue with Nokron. We're going to continue. So, basically we have the Mimic Tier Site of Grace. We're going to start here. What we're then going to do is we're going to do two things. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the Ancestral Hunting Grounds. This area over here. There's kind of a lot going on here. But it's very similar to what we did within Shiva River, where we activate some obelisks, light some torches, and then fight a boss. Very similar. But the main reason we've come down here is this area here. This area is called Noxtella. I think it's called Noxtella. No, it's Knight's Sacred Ground or something like that. This area is where the prize that Ranni is looking for is. You could probably guess where it is. We sort of looked at it before, but that's the major reason we're coming here. So, with that said, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the Ancestral Hunting Grounds first, fight that boss, and then we will go into this area after that. It's all going to be in the same video, but that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to cover this whole area. The reason I'm going to fight the boss here is simply because it's... Basically, when we come off the bridge, like we did before, we're going to find an obelisk to light right away. So we may as well just do that, get that done, and then go forward. But that'll be the next part of the walkthrough. So this is the first major chunk of Ranni's questline here. But that's it. Let me give my channel members a shout out, as I like to do at the end of all these videos. Thank you very much to John Aldrich, Tammy Skinner, Hector J. Estrada, Joe Saunders, Daniel Cockriel, Brian Brubaker, Spencer Young, Charles Jan, Phoenix Loader, the one and only me 123, Joshua S., Tiptoe Water 12, Jude Lazowski, B-Tide, The Old One, Good Luck, and Stu J. Mac 26. Thank you very much to my channel members. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Elden Ring, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video, or click the thanks button below the video. It has a heart icon next to it, and you can make a donation. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links for those are in the description below. And as always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.